All right. Are we ready for some true crime?
Alrighty, let's do it. And it's also ducks.
Oh, this is a twofer. Listen,
Duck sports and true crime.
I am all over the place on this one. Oh, no, people. Okay, that was very reasoned. Now you're going to see a very unreasonable person. Just sort of like, all right. He's a saint. I will protect him. We're going to a human chain to save Daylen. Right, here we go. Oh, I like that. So dramatic.
It's true crime. It's got to be dramatic.
This one's a weird one.
A 46-year-old man is dead, and police say a University of Oregon football player was behind the wheel during the deadly hit and run. Thank you for joining us. I'm Renee McCullough.
And I'm Matt Templeman. Daylen Austin was released from the Lane County Jail after making his first court appearance this afternoon. He's facing one count of failure to perform the duties of a driver to injured persons after a crash Monday night on West 4th Avenue and Polk Street. A judge granted.
Is it bad to play the theme song under this? Every time I see a duck, I got to play the theme song. I'm
his
sorry.
conditional release at the hearing this afternoon. And KEZI 9 News reporter Jennifer Singh is live from where the incident happened, a place neighbors say can be a dangerous one. Jennifer?
That's right, Matt. Renee, I'm here on the corner of West 4th Avenue and Polk Street, right where the incident occurred on Monday, shortly after 9. And Eugene police...
Oh, shoot. You went robot.
Her voice. Oh, we got to get more video of Jennifer Singh. All right.
Say they arrested the University of Oregon football player later that same evening. Now, we are still working to uncover all of the details of the incident, but neighbors I spoke with tell me before the crash, they heard a car driving around the neighborhood excessively fast.
So this specific night, it was just car traveling at a high rate of speed, around the neighborhood. And my wife heard a thump, and that was real rough. And she didn't really put it together. She said, I think they may have hit a tree or something. And then I heard a bunch of sirens, and then I came out and saw kind of the scene, which was rough. But.
And when I talked with neighbors today, they say cars speeding through this area isn't out of the ordinary. They say cars are known to cut through this neighborhood to bypass traffic on the nearby main road. And while we still don't know if speed was a factor in the victim's death, neighbors say with so many kids and walkers in the neighborhood, it may take more than a speed limit sign or an accident to slow constant speeders down.
It's unfortunate, and I keep hoping that it's some sort of accident, and the more details that come out and the more I'm reading, I'm like, oh my gosh, it doesn't seem that way. With that said, I still think the speed bumps and the speed humps, some sort of deterrent would alleviate the possibility. I mean, he might not be able to get going that fast and chase down people or whatever had happened.
As for what happens next in the case, Austin's next court date is May 22nd. And Eugene police say they are still working on gathering information to give to the Lane County District Attorney's Office. And we also did reach out to the...
fart walkers in the neighborhood because it's by the campus. So it's like right by the campus. So walkers, it's like people walking. It's like a campus. So there's walkers everywhere. Not like
not zombies.
Not zombies. Although some of those women,
University of Oregon, and they say they are also still gathering information. And again, we will bring you the latest details as they unfold for us as well. And live for now in Eugene, Jennifer Singh, KEZI 9 News.
Thanks, Jennifer Singh. So this is Daylen Austin, 19 years old. He's a cornerback for the University of Oregon Ducks football team.
A sophomore?
He's a sophomore. He played 3 games last year as a true freshman.
Correct. So he's an up and comer, not like a starter. This is not going to hurt the team. So everyone, your bets are okay. Your futures are okay. Nothing's going to change there. But just off what you hear in that clip, like what do you put together in your head? Like what is the story you put together? Because I have a story in my head. Just off that clip.
I wanted to explain, too, that they call it failure to perform duties of a driver to an injured person in Oregon. But, yeah, that basically is a hit and run. So he didn't stay at the scene of the crime. He didn't give assistance or call 911 to the injured person. So he left the scene and was arrested a couple hours later in an apartment.
Can I give you sort of just because I just had a huge like sort of aha moment when they were discussing. I know that road. And so it's basically like a cut through to campus from the bigger streets. It's like a cut through to Alder from like Polk, and so basically we all took it, and it's like a 20-mile-an-hour thing, but it's only for half a block. But what happens is you'll have like 10 cars go through there real quick in a row, and the neighbors get super pissed.
Gotcha. Because people are driving way faster than they should be.
And there's kids, and it's a family neighborhood. It's like you look at this neighborhood, it's fucking like ideal. Like, it's beautiful. Trees everywhere, rolling little hills. It's beautiful. And then these cars are coming through at like 50 miles an hour because they're coming off of a freeway part that's like 45, 50 miles an hour and cutting to another part of town that's like 35, 40 miles an hour, but they're going through like a 20-mile-an-hour zone. And so in my head, and this is not probably who knows, but in my head, this is a get off my lawn old man situation where someone is just hears those cars speeding through, runs outside with his hammer or something, and like attacks the car coming through too fast. But if you're the driver, all you see is a guy running out with a knife or a hammer.
Right.
And so you either hit him, defend yourself, or whatever. So I think what we're looking at here is like a giant get off my lawn meets miscommunication meets college age kids with, that was a
That's
Beamer.
an interesting take. I had not thought of that one.
That was a very expensive car that hit him, right? Like all these kids have Beamers, Mercedes, AMG, like whatever you want. They have nice cars. They were talking about it today on a podcast I watched where Tez Johnson has had 3 cars since he's been to Oregon, all over $50,000. Like, and he leases them because he has a deal with the car agent. But like these kids are getting NIL money. They're professional at this point, as far as the marketers and the shoe companies and all these people are concerned. They're pro. The only one that doesn't pay them is the NCAA, the ones they make all the money for, which is the irony in the whole thing.
That is ironic.
Yeah, but
what is also ironic is that he is not charged with vehicular manslaughter or anything vehicular homicide. He's only charged with the hit and run.
And that makes me think that like he has they know his lawyer has a defensive position. They have a very good defense. Yeah.
They haven't come out with more details except that the report, the 911 call first was for a stabbing.
Right.
And then they found the victim. Then they found the victim with his throat, with a large gash on his throat. Like his throat was slit and a hammer nearby him. So it's really unclear. But you heard that part too, right?
Right. But then, so he has now, Daylen Austin has got the best attorney in Oregon. He literally, like, the university called me, like, hey, we need the best attorney. Oh, we got him. And so everything is, like, I'm sure you're going to talk about more. Lanning has said some things, but it's pretty much gone silent. Like, that news report is the only facts you're going to get on this case unless it goes to trial or it goes to a grand jury. Because the lawyer locked down everything. You there? Okay, good. The lawyer locked down everything. And so... go ahead and play and let's see what else we got here. Because I think that's what happened. It does sound like it's just like wrong place, wrong time for 2 people. Like that movie, Sliding Doors, or what, like the movie where it's just like 2 people meet and their lives are irrevocably changed from meeting each other. Mm-hmm. But why was his throat slashed 30 minutes before, 20 minutes before? Like that.
That's the thing. That's the only reason I could think that he's not charged with vehicular manslaughter is because the man was already dead. And maybe he ran over him after the fact. It's very confusing.
Like there has been nothing coming out from his side. So like, like I'm just what ifing, but what if there was like a fight and that guy ran out of the house being chased? Like, after he was attacked. And so he was a victim, but Daylen didn't know that. He just saw a guy running out of the house with a hammer, so he floored it and hit him and was like, oops, I don't know what you are. It looks like you're coming out. That's why I'm saying it. It really feels like, like circumstantial or circumstances not like anyone premeditated or it was an act of that's just what it seems. But there'll be more shoes to drop in this, and that's why we're grabbing this case early, not because it only affects me and my goddamn Ducks, but we wanted to grab a case early on that we could watch. And from all accounts, this kid is a fucking stand-up kid. Here's the thing you need to know about Oregon when they recruit kids. They go after Stanford and Ivy League kids. They go after kids that are good people. Think about Marcus Mariota. Think about what's the Charger? Justin. What's his name? Justin. The quarterback for the Chargers. Think about Bo Nix. Think about all their quarterbacks going back to Darren Thomas. Like they're all just like sweet dudes who care about like being a good man first, and then I'm going to be the best fucking football player I can. Like they literally recruit good at Oregon for decades. And that's why you don't see a ton of these kind of stories come out of Oregon. Like in Alabama, this story is literally 2 or 3 times an off season.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they get guys that are 5-star that are like charts ready for the NFL, and they're already living as adults and doing things on a college campus that they probably wouldn't be able to get away with anyway. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. You're just excited about because it's Ducks.
It's a topic I care about. It's a Ducks, baby.
Let's watch some more about Daylen Austin.
Just some really unfortunate news here, but Oregon Duck cornerback Daylen Austin was arraigned in Lane County District Court today after he fled the scene of a hit-and-run accident in Eugene on Monday night. That accident claimed the life of a 46-year-old man. Austin, who is 19, appeared in just 3 games last season as a redshirt freshman. The judge did issue a conditional release to Austin, whose next court date is set for May 22nd.
Daylen Amir Austin, 24 CR 19870.
Wednesday afternoon, 19-year-old Daylen Austin faced a Lane County judge for the first time. The defensive back for the University of Oregon charged with a felony in connection to a deadly hit-and-run Monday night.
We're just saddened to see that somebody had been killed.
Prosecutors say Austin took off after a crash in this residential neighborhood of Eugene shortly after 9 Monday night.
I could hear an engine revving and sounded like somebody was driving fast around the neighborhood.
Anthony Sharpie says it's not uncommon for drivers to cut through this area to avoid.
I think that the neighbors, like when they're saying, oh, the revving and going around the neighborhood a bunch, I don't see the dude driving around the neighborhood doing laps. I see a bunch of cars that he's hearing. Like, because I live in LA and we know street takeovers. You know, like we know how this goes. It's not just one car ever. Right? And so that could have been his boys out
multiple
with him,
cars,
or random people, or just traffic.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, we all sped through that thing, and these cars are not normal cars because these guys are getting the NIL money. So they're all goddamn like Camaros,
supercharged,
or Chevy, whatever, as you know, and GTs and shit. So, so the people like ascribing that to one car, I think is wrong. I think the police report will say that's wrong. It was a bunch of traffic. God, I'm just guessing. We're horrible humans. Here we go.
Avoid traffic. Sirens from emergency vehicles.
Yeah, you see that basketball hoop there? That's the kind of neighborhoods that you're talking about driving through, right? You have to drive at like 15, 20 because there's literally kids playing 4-on-4 basketball out there. So if you drive through those things at 50, like, and everyone knows that. Like, it's not like, you know, so this whole case, there's a whole area of the puzzle that we're not getting yet.
I just can't get past the part that his throat was slit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and a hammer by his dead head. He's dead out there with a hammer next to him. Like, what?
Yeah.
So he was clearly not innocent or defending himself against something, or was building a bird nest. What was he doing?
Fell off the ladder.
Not
and
as
then
common.
All the fire trucks and ambulances, and obviously we came out and saw that there was a body in the street.
Police arrested the UO sophomore at an apartment around 11:45 the same night. The university stated they're aware of the incident and are awaiting additional information.
No plea is entered at this time. No preliminary hearing will be set.
Austin was let out of jail on a conditional release after the court appearance.
Austin is due back in court in about a month. Police say they are still gathering information around the crime.
Hold on.
of the incident and are awaiting additional information.
No plea.
You see that guy in the bottom right?
Yeah.
With the afro?
Yeah.
You think he's got good hands?
I don't know.
You think he's got any eligibility left?
Possibly.
I'm just saying we use this negative as a positive. Listen.
Are you going to recruit in the courthouse?
Why can't we recruit from jail or prison? Like, that guy seems to me to have a little baller in him. You got any eligibility left? You want to be a duck? Let's turn it around, baby. Let's get a chip.
He is entered at this time. No preliminary hearing will be set.
Austin was...
That looks like a safety if I've ever seen one. It's not safe right now. He might get ass raped. But in the future, he could be a safety.
Let out of jail on a conditional release.
Sorry.
After the court appearance.
Austin is in court in about a month. Police say they are still...
It's a lot of forehead up in Oregon, just saying.
Gathering information around the crash, calling the investigation, quote...
We got titties, no titties, but a lot of forehead. Oregon.
Complex. David?
Also, they put our buttons on our shoulders instead of our chest. Sorry about that.
Alma McCarty in the newsroom. Thank you, Alma.
And our dudes look like vampires.
Yeah,
Welcome to Oregon!
All right, and here's Coach Lanning and what he had to say.
The next governor of Oregon and the next president of these United States of America and of the world. Yes, Dan Lanning.
Action to Daylen Austin's arrest and what's the status with the program right now?
Yeah, I have no updates right now. Beyond, I know Daylen's character, and I think there's a lot of details that will continue to play out. Beyond that, I'm not going to speak on it any more than that.
What's the last few days been like for the defensive backs, the room, but Rashad Wadu? I mean, that relationship goes back with him for several
Like I said,
years.
I'm not going to have any other. I'm not going to talk about it beyond what I just talked about. But our team's in a really good place.
That's right, Dan. Don't around. Look. If you show weakness right there, every other school and team is just going to grab all your players. That's what it's about now. You got to defend your players. You
Right.
understand? Even in situations where it looks like publicly that it might be bad to defend your players, you might have to defend your players because players are watching that. This will be defended if they come to your school because every year players can transfer now. Your whole team can transfer out if they don't got a coach who will defend him or sit on the bench, sit with him and be like, all right, we're going to see how this plays out. This is such an interesting case because of that. The college football aspect of this is interesting because back in the day when Nick Saban ran, I should get up here with you. Back in the day when Nick Saban ran, college football and, you got in trouble, you're off the team. Oh, get out of here. You're like, well, now what happens is someone's like, well, what if I get in trouble, coach? You're not going to stand with me? Well, I'm going to FSU. Fuck you. Because he says he's going to stand with me. Or I'm going to Oregon because Dan Lanning didn't just throw the guy off the team. He waited for the court procedure to play out. And that matters. I mean, it doesn't seem like something that you would think about, but it's like, all right, coach, you going to have my back? Oh, yeah. Did you see what I did for Daylen Austin?
Yeah, there must be some other extenuating circumstances that make something in this case just doesn't feel quite right. So that's why we wanted to bring it to you guys, and it's kind of just playing out right now. There hasn't been any new updates since this. I just got all this last night. So but I'll keep you people updated if anything does come out.
Oh, we're gonna be all over this. All over this. Basically because, the defensive back room at Oregon right now is really strong. Daylen is like a special teams guy, but you never know who you're going to lose, right? You never know what party's going to happen, and then the next day there's charges. And so I just hope that all the universities, and especially my Ducks, learn from this, right, and make these sort of things sort of player-controlled. Because coaches can say, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, and then kids are going to do it, right?
Yeah.
But if it's your friends telling you that and guys in your wide defensive back core saying, hey, we're checking in on you, what's going on, and do you have a ride home? You know what I'm saying? Just constant check-ins like that where you have someone holding your hand the whole way. That's sort of what you need at this age. With this amount of money, this amount of prestige, this amount of hype around you at 17, 18, and 19, you need a little control. There needs to be a little help there. And so, anyway.
I'm sure that's a big part of college ball, and I really hope that they do that more.
You hope that they do that more.
That the players, kind of stick with each other and help each other out, keep each other out of trouble, or try to at least.
I think that's what's worked in the past, right? Like I'm talking like, even going back to like my high school football team, there was a dude who was like he broke into cars. That was his thing. And like he would always we'd always just check on him every night. Hey man, what are we doing tonight? We're doing, because we knew if he was just sitting at his house, he was going to go grab a knife or a hammer and go break into cars. And so he eventually got kicked off the team because, we weren't there one night, and he went and broke into cars and he got arrested. And so, and the coaches were like, we told you guys to protect. They got mad at us. And we're like, guys, we needed a break. We can't guard this guy all day. Trying to live our own lives here. But a very interesting story. So true crime mixed with Oregon football. I'm here for it.
All right.